Luckily, the other two presentations are on YouTube. So if you
Yeah.
in and you miss any part, they'll be on our YouTube channel shortly. And I will hand it off to Brittany.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brittany Turner. I am a student at Wayne State University. I'm majoring in social work, and I actually graduate tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get started. So my timeline here is similar to what you've seen with the other interns. Started off with onboarding and getting our work plan together, setting my professional goals and the goals that I wanted to accomplish within the internship, which were gaining administrative experience, understanding nonprofit workflow and project management, and then lastly was networking and strategic partnerships. And so the beginning was coordinating all of those, coming up with tasks that would align with those goals. And then in October, I started with another intern, the LMS content research, and then the newsletter, which I'll talk about those two a little more. And then the strategic partnerships, which was researching examples of other companies and the partnerships that they had. And then from that, kind of figuring out what type of organizations that hand could potentially have partnerships with. And then in November, was a part of the commercial work group, continuing the LMS content, as well as starting some social media. And then December has been a lot of the G Drive migration. So for the first task that I want to point out was the newsletter relaunch. To the left here was just my favorite infographic that I made. It was the effects of children that are experiencing homelessness. It was part of like a supplemental info piece that was inputted into the newsletter. And then on the right was actually the first newsletter of the relaunch that I like created the layout for and inputted all of the information. So it was pretty important to me to be a part of that. The next one is meeting minutes. And the reason why I wanted to point this one out was I feel like it aligned with the goal of understanding nonprofit workflow, because I got to see sort of like a behind the scenes essentially of like the progress that goes into the process that goes into just the things that hand does in collaboration with other organizations. So like in the Moving Up meeting, and I did the permanent supportive housing. So just as I'm doing the meetings and taking notes, I'm able to see that process. And also was a administrative experience as well. I've never done it before. And then the last one I want to point out is the LMS project. This one was probably my favorite. And I think because I mentioned in my initial interview that education was really important to me. And so I like obtaining new information, sharing new information. I'm very much of a planner and structure type of person. And so I think this project implemented all of that, where I was able to research material that could be used in training to essentially kind of educate employees, future interns, other COC members. And so it was really my favorite one. And I had a lot of fun seeing it from the beginning to our recent soft launch. Which leads me to my memorable moment. Well, it's kind of like moments, but so here in the big one is the document for the LMS content research. So it was like a draft of different topics that Tori wanted in the training. And so me and another intern, we researched different sources that we could get that material from. So whether it was preloadable, contracted from somewhere, our provider had it, or it was something that we would have to create ourselves. We, just researched that. And the memorable moment came from having to present that to Tori. It was like my first task or deadline that I had. And so presenting it, I was like nervous and excited at the same time. So I was like, I hope this is right. This is what she wanted. So it was just a big moment for me, kind of my first big project that I had to work on. And then the Doshable content shop was something I created once we were going towards the like actually building the LMS. And so that I had to present in the staff meeting, which was a lot more people. And so I was a lot more nervous when it came to that, but still big steps that I was really excited about. In total, I worked 252 and a half hours. I calculated this a couple times because it seemed like it just flew by so fast. The time definitely went by really, really fast. And then here is just a copy of my resume of my most recent jobs. And all in all, I'm just very thankful that I got to be a part of this experience. And I definitely learned a lot. I learned about capacity building in one of my social work classes. So being a part of this internship really gave me some insight into what that consisted of. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Brittany, for your wonderful presentation. Again, I mean, all of my interns were so amazing. I really can't even express, honestly. Any final remarks or comments or anything you want directly for Brittany's presentation can be in the chat. Lots of congratulations on her graduating. We have two graduating
Thank you all.
seniors, Brittany and Eliza. So Eliza will actually be up next. And let me make you a co-host. All right.
Hello, everyone. I'm Eliza, and I am a graduating senior of Michigan State University. My major was in psychology with a minor in philosophy and women's and gender studies, but this is my experience through my internship with HAND for fall 2022. Sorry about the little hiccup. But this is my work file timeline. In September, just like the rest of my fellow interns, we were doing the onboarding process and getting acclimated to being an intern at HAND, doing meetings and figuring out what projects we wanted to take on and complete. So as we're doing that, I and Brittany as well worked on the LMS content for the soft launch for the Docebo. And we did that, as well as I did my own research with the psychological impact of homelessness. That it was something I wanted to do just to more so talk about mental health and see where I could fit that in to yeah, just see where I can fit that in, where I could do that. Sorry, y'all, I'm having like so many hiccups. I'm trying to slide it on to the next. Okay, here we go. So in October, I attended some EHV meetings and took meeting minutes. And then I really started to build upon the psychological effects of homelessness, which led me to make an infographic for the relaunch of the newsletter. And I enjoyed the process. It was very cool looking up and doing research to see where I could really emphasize mental health, not only within the workplace, but with clients as well. In November, that was where I branched off a little bit and started making social media content for Instagram and Facebook, as well as do commercial research within the commercial work group with Ashley and Brittany and Martinez, Tori, and I believe Kim as well, to figure out how we wanted to structure the commercial and what platform we wanted to use. And I continued making infographics for the newsletter relaunch. This had to be one of the best ones I think I did throughout my time at And. It's definitely my favorite. So in December was the point migration system, and migrating files. That was my first time kind of doing administrative work. And throughout the whole process, I have been learning levels of administration, what goes on through nonprofit organizations. I think that was cool to learn. And I also, throughout my internship, I wanted to plan a strategic partnership with different organizations throughout Detroit. It was successful. I would say for the most part, the response I did get back, unfortunately, could not collaborate, but it was still fun to reach out and actually speak with people and outside of the organization and working on collaboration. And then I continued to make more infographics. This is the last one. It's not the official version, but this is the infographic I made for December. And I also made a TikTok social media video. I don't know if that's gonna get put on there or not, but it was fun to make. I definitely had fun using Vengage and using the different, just in general, just using the different software content just to make really beautiful infographics. And that was my memorable moment, was the newsletter collaboration and meetings. I had fun meeting everyone. It was so cool to research different topics and put them into infographics with including resources that people could use if they happen to find themselves in situations like that. So in total, I spent 84 hours this fall at hand. Thank you and happy holidays. I was very nervous about this presentation. It probably showed, but thank you anyway.
Thank you so much for your hard work this semester, Eliza. You were an awesome intern as well. Completely amazing. I'll give a few moments in the chat for any remarks for Eliza's presentation. And up next, we will have Catherine.
Hi, everyone. I'm just making sure everybody can hear me okay. I've been having some technical difficulties.
Yep, we can hear you pretty good.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Hi, everyone. My name is Catherine Izo, and I am currently a student at Michigan State completing my Master's of Public Health. I was lucky enough to complete my practicum experience at hand. So this presentation will give a brief summary of my experience and all of the experience I gathered throughout it. So this is just an overview and timeline of all the tasks I participated in. I'll go more into detail in the upcoming slides, but I just wanted to provide a visual showing when my tasks were completed throughout the semester. This slide shows a few of the media projects that I completed throughout the semester. These projects include our hand bulletin newsletter that is distributed monthly, and the health determinant visual that I created. Next, I want to go into our work groups that we had throughout the semester. The first work group is the commercial work group that I participated in. I got to learn a ton about how much goes into creating media visuals for organizations in this work group. I really liked it because Tori kind of guided us all on how to research different topics individually, and then we all came together and collaborated and came up with a group consensus, and then kind of went about things that way, which I really enjoyed the collaboration aspect of. The second group I participated in was the racial equity group, and I'll go more into detail regarding that project in future slides. Lastly, we have the fundraising group, which taught me a lot about the process of planning a fundraiser and how much detail goes into implementing timelines that are achievable. There were so many great ideas, and currently still are so many great ideas going on in the fundraising group, and I'm excited to see HAND excel in raising money to continue our mission of ending homelessness. So next we have my most memorable moment, which would be the opportunity to participate on the racial equity survey overview. I really enjoyed analyzing the feedback gathered from the survey and being exposed to all the steps that are taken in successfully creating a survey and gaining community feedback. That's something that I definitely will carry into all the work I do in the future. And then these are the visuals I have, just a few slides from some of the PowerPoint presentations I created regarding the data that I was able to look at for the racial equity survey. It was a good experience to kind of break things down, break data down and make it so that it is visually digestible. And so that leads to my total practicum hours, which were 180. I just want to give a special thank you for everyone at HAND for welcoming us in and letting us observe and learn from the great work that you all do. I think the atmosphere at HAND truly promotes growth, and that is why I feel so lucky to have been able to complete my practicum here, because I really do feel as though it was a valuable learning experience. And a special thank you to Tori for your guidance, all of how detailed you are and kind, and honestly just great at communicating was really a help for all of us throughout this. And I think was one of the main reasons why we as interns had such positive experiences this semester. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Catherine. You guys are gonna make me cry during this. Man, you guys, I was just so lucky to have such a wonderful class this semester. Words can't express, honestly. So I'll leave some time in the chat as well for Catherine. And then up next will be Serena. And she will be our last presentation for the day. And then after that, whatever time we have left, I have some breakout rooms set up. And so if you guys had any questions about a certain presentation, or if you just like to bounce around, you can. It should have the option for you to choose what room you go into. So please let me know if there's any breakout room complications. So Serena, if you're ready, you can go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Serena. I'm a senior at Wayne State University. I'm currently studying to get my bachelor's of science in public health. This is just an overview of my timeline. In September, I began the initial onboarding process and my internship plan, and then I started working on the bulletin board, as well as the Workers Wellness Project. In October, I continued the Workers Wellness Project and I joined the fundraising brainstorming committee. And then in November, I took meeting minutes, which I liked, and I'll show you them later. I continued in the fundraising brainstorming meeting, and then I did research on COC policies and procedures. And then in December, I joined the holiday planning committee, and I was also in the fundraising committee here. Okay, this is my bulletin board. I just kind of outlined important dates for the staff and included quotes, pictures, and just looking like a real life bulletin board that you'd see in the office. This is the Workers Wellness Project. My first one was the mental health and well-being in a workplace, and my second one was the work and life balance. It's just kind of facts and tips for the staff and people who visit our website so that they can just be a little bit more aware about these topics. Another project I did is I researched COVID protocols and guidelines that should or could be implemented when we transition back into an in-person setting. These are just kind of protocols that we all know now by heart, but just a little reminder. This was my meeting minutes. I really like this. I got to join a meeting and just take notes about what was happening, what was important for both me to help me stay on track, and then I got to share it with whoever was in the meeting in case they missed anything. So this one was a nice one. And then the fundraising event. I was excited about this personally since I love volunteering and raising awareness. It was just a great community to be on and a platform. I found it really interesting to see how much work that we had to put in just to get this set up and how much work goes into raising money for just general problems that go on throughout our community that we don't really pay much attention to. My most memorable moment was the policies and procedures. I had to go through our HANS standards, and then I also compared other COC standards in Michigan and in the United States to ours, and then I did a SWOT analysis on what can be changed and what just should be updated and what can be added or anything like that. I really did wish I got more time on this. It was kind of near the end of my internship, but it was a great project to at least start. I completed 100 hours here at hand. And thank you for everything. I absolutely loved working here, especially Tori. Tori helped a lot. She made it such a welcoming environment, and any questions I could have had or anything that I wanted to know, I could just go straight to her, and I knew I felt welcome to say anything that I needed to. So it was great working here, and I got so many new experiences.
Thank you so much, Serena, for your hard work this semester. You know, the interns really went above and beyond. They really set the bar high for, future classes of interns, honestly. So I will leave a little moment in the chat here. For the breakout rooms, it should have it to where you guys can choose what room you want to be in. I'm hoping that'll make it so, you know, you can bounce back and forth if you'd like for the last 20 minutes or so. So feel free to kind of hop in there. The interns will have their resume on the screen, and they also have some guiding questions for mingling. You know, if we were in person, we would get to kind of talk freely, but I wanted to still have that aspect. So that's what will be in the breakout rooms. I'll also try to shuffle around as well, if there's anything else. And let me catch up in the chat. Thank you so much for everyone who could make it to this presentation today. Really